Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.
Hello, this is Werewolf the Podcast, the serial. We've already said that in the bit where it goes dun dun dun. Grendel Press. Yeah, check out Grendel Press. Great publishers. They produce lots and lots of horror fiction, and yeah, Susan, who is the main person there, she chooses authors really, really well. So yeah, go and check them out. Honestly, some of the best horror around at the moment. In the description, you'll find links to us on Facebook, Instagram, X, all those kind of things, and books you can buy if you like our writing. Other than that, just enjoy the show.
Eleanor Rigby. I was having what I would describe as a particularly bad day. Now, admittedly, my definition of a bad day had expanded somewhat since becoming the temporary caretaker of hell. Before this week, a bad day involved spilt coffee, perhaps a rejected research proposal, or possibly one of my cats vomiting somewhere expensive. Now's bad day was particularly bad in comparison to any of those bad days. I was sitting upon the infernal throne in an endless black void, while distant screams occasionally reminded me that I existed, which was bad. Now, perspective is important, however. I was attempting not to think about the noises which were being made somewhere-ish. That was bad, as the less attention you paid to them, the worse they became. The moment you focused on them, they vanished, which was bad. It was like being haunted by an extremely malicious psychological experiment. Then Lucifer appeared. One moment I was alone, the next she was standing directly in front of me as... what the fuck is that? Blackness? Initially, there had been something there that my brain had decided it would not let me remember. My mind had decided that it was not even worth dealing with the therapy and trauma created by seeing the devil in its true form, so I know it happened, but moving to now, not to then, there was Lucifer, in a form that, well, you always see when you most desire, lustfully. I'm not sharing what my thoughts created. Phew. It's hot in here. Oh, this is hell. Sort of part of hell's climate. Hot. Anyway, getting back to the story and away from my embarrassment, I let out a noise that was somewhere between a scream and an apology. Lucifer barely noticed. She looked irritated. Who? I said she, damn it. So, well, you get a hint of what I like then. Anyway, she looked a little angry. Just annoyed in a way that somebody becomes when reality has misplaced their car keys. She put her finger to her red moist lips. Shiny, kissable. Her beautiful dark brown eyes. It's awfully hot in here. In hell, isn't it? Or is it just me? Why am I talking about her?
Why am I here?
She muttered. I was a little distracted.
Why am I here?
She repeated. I blinked. Hello to you too, I tried to quip. She looked at me quizzically as though I were something misplaced in a kitchen drawer, and then looked around the throne room, and then back at me. Then around the throne room one more time.
No, this is most definitely wrong. You know how it is. You transport yourself across various realities, and when you get there, you forget what you came for. Yes.
She clicked her fingers, nothing happened. That appeared to concern her, only slightly, which somehow concerned me considerably more.
I was going to a battlefield.
Another click. Nothing.
Shit. Simon is currently attempting to become a decorative feature on a muddy battlefield.
Another click. I stared.
Right.
She pointed.
There is a psychotic fairy. Also right. She has a knife. Still right. and I need to be there.
The smile disappeared from her face.
Oh, of course. Where are you?
That was when Astaroth emerged from behind the throne. You might wonder how I knew it was Astaroth. Easy. I met the Demon Duke of Hell before, casually at a work thing. A getting to know your colleague thing. Anyway, Astaroth occurred. They had not walked in, they had not simply arrived, they had just sort of appeared-ish? Appeared-ish. I'm going with it. As though they had always been there and reality had finally gotten around to noticing.
Hello, Lucifer.
A lugubrious voice, sickeningly so. I watched, in a fear-driven silence, as Astaroth casually rested a hand on my head, then proceeded to pet me. I was too frightened to object. I was too frightened to even weep myself. I am not proud of that. Lucifer's eyes flashed into fire. I saw a moment of pure hate.
Astaroth.
The demon smiled.
Yes, you're Astaroth.
The sickeningly beautiful demon duke stopped scratching my scalp with perfectly manicured fingernails and moved the hand towards the devil as proudly as a newly engaged woman would show to her friends a ring on one finger. Except it was no longer really a ring. It looked like somebody had taken a crown, a cathedral, a gemstone collection, and a nervous breakdown and somehow compressed that into a piece of jewellery. Like Fabergé had created the ring on a bad mushroom trip. Colours moved inside the stones. Tiny, impossible geometries shifted beneath its surface. I became uncomfortable simply looking at it.
Yes, the ring of summoning on my little finger.
Astaroth said proudly. Lucifer folded her arms.
Wonderful. Can we discuss your fashion choices after I've saved the Professor?
No,
Astaroth smiled wider.
no, I think we should discuss something much more important.
Lucifer sighed.
Really? Now?
I got the distinct impression this had happened before. Astaroth began pacing.
You sit upon a throne you barely understand. You inherited power you do not deserve. You play like a spoiled child at being the monarch of hell. I am many millennia older than you.
True. But you don't look a day over 10,000 years old. One hell of a skincare regime.
Another sarcastic quip, but I'm stronger than you.
Debatable.
Wiser than you.
Lucifer glanced at me and arched an eyebrow, offering me the visual insight that she did not believe what Astaroth had just said. I think.
I really don't have the time for this right now.
Lucifer tried to continue. Astaroth ignored her.
You're not an angel anymore, Lucifer.
Again, debatable. Probably a point of conjecture.
You're no ruler.
That is literally my throne.
She said, pointing to me as I sat on the throne. I reacted by blushing and started sliding towards the edge of the black stone seat in order to get off her throne and stand. This was her, obviously, saying. She waved to me to stop and smiled, shaking her head.
Not necessary, Eleanor.
You are a flea-ridden, half-feathered, scrophulatic street pigeon in comparison to me.
Lucifer, still holding my eyes in a convivial stare, winced, then winked. The demon continued their rant, pointing dramatically at Lucifer.
A mere scavenger, a creature surviving on scraps. You inherited authority you never had. I built kingdoms before your first Rebellion.
Lucifer checked a watch that had suddenly appeared on her wrist.
I commanded armies before humanity learned to write. I understand now.
Lucifer used the perfect tip of a pinky fingernail to daintily remove something from between her teeth, then refocused on Astaroth.
I understand power. You merely occupy it.
Lucifer now popped a few misplaced locks of hair back in place. There was a pause in Astaroth's verbal tirade.
Are you done?
No.
Shame.
Astaroth continued.
You mistake affection for leadership. You mistake popularity for loyalty. You mistake chaos for freedom. I would make hell efficient, orderly, disciplined, predictable. You turned it into a place of.
Any time now, you will think of the word.
Tomfoolery.
Lucifer smiled at tomfoolery.
That's one of the better features.
Astaroth looked offended.
I have summoned you here with this ring to trap you in this room for eternity. You are still to be the monarch of hell, but you will have no influence on it. Trapped in these dark cells forever.
They spread their arms.
You cannot leave. You can't even reach your precious professor. Humiliatingly, you cannot reach the battlefield. You cannot escape.
Lucifer looked thoughtful and unsure, then smiled.
Can I test that?
Astaroth laughed.
Please.
Lucifer clicked her fingers. Nothing happened. She stared at the fingers just as I had stared at my father's fruitless attempt to put on a fireworks display with shit fireworks bought at Asda, with blatant disappointment. Astaroth's smile widened.
There. What did I tell you?
Lucifer clicked again. Nothing.
Got to try everything twice.
So you understand now?
Oh, yes. You've made yourself very clear.
Lucifer nodded. Astaroth looked delighted.
Excellent. You cannot escape this room. Admit it. I have finally beaten you.
Nah, you're powerless.
Astaroth paused, and confusion presented itself on the demon's beautiful countenance.
What?
Lucifer looked directly at them. Her smile remained. It was somehow worse than anger.
So I cannot leave.
No.
And you and the ring thing are the ones preventing me?
Yes.
Lucifer nodded slowly, thoughtfully. I saw something pass behind her eyes, something ancient, something mathematical, something terrible. Astaroth saw it too. For the first time, the demon looked uncertain. Lucifer smiled wider, and then far too wide for her face to be seen as human.
Oh.
That single syllable made my stomach drop.
Then I have a way to solve the problem.
Astaroth took a step backwards.
What problem?
Lucifer looked genuinely surprised.
You know, the obstacles.
Then she clicked her fingers. The room became bright, not with flame, not with light, with certainty. Astaroth screamed. I'd never heard a being like Astaroth scream before. The sound was vast, ancient, furious. Their perfect form fractured. Cracks of brilliant white spread across their skin. Their elegance vanished. Their confidence vanished. Their laughter vanished. They fell to their knees, still screaming. The ring glowed. The throne room shook. The shadows fled. I sat frozen upon the throne, unable to move, unable to breathe, unable to look our way. The cracks spread further. Light poured from them. Astaroth reached towards Lucifer, begging, threatening, accusing. I couldn't tell which. Lucifer simply watched, calm, patient, almost bored. The screaming weakened, the light intensified, then Astaroth collapsed inward. The shape of them crumbled, falling apart like a statue made from burning paper, until finally there was nothing left, only drifting ash. Silence filled the throne room. I stared. Lucifer stared. The ash settled. After several seconds, I managed to find my voice. My throat felt dry. Was that necessary?
Was what necessary?
Lucy asked. That, I said, pointing at the remains. Lucifer looked at the pile of ash, then at me.
Oh, that. Not particularly. But I am in a bit of a rush.
She said matter-of-factly. She clicked her fingers and vanished. Then suddenly returned.
Oh, by the way, you're now the Duke of Hell,
she said with a nod. I weirdly nodded in return in fake acknowledgement without thinking. She smiled. The fingers clicked again. Gone, leaving me alone. Again. With a throne. Oh, and a pile of ash. What the fucking fuck just happened?
Lucifer. I clicked my fingers. Now, usually when I click my fingers, reality behaves itself. It may not like what I'm doing. It may complain. It may occasionally catch fire. But it generally cooperates. Not today. Today, reality appeared determined to be difficult. One moment I was attempting to reach a battlefield where Professor Simon de Montfort was currently being hunted by a psychotic fairy armed with a knife. The next, I was standing on a hillside. A beautiful hillside. The sort of hillside that should have featured on a greetings card or an expensive calendar. Blue skies, wild flowers, birdsong, a little stream. The whole thing looked so offensively peaceful that I immediately distrusted it. And there, in the middle of this pastoral nonsense, was Wil. Or rather, Wil and Fen. The pair of them had merged completely into that gigantic wolf form they occasionally preferred. The beast was sprawled across the grass like an enormous black rug woven entirely from bad decisions and teeth. It was asleep. Actually asleep, snoring. Its stomach bulged alarmingly. I knew exactly why. They had recently eaten the false version of Wil. The entire thing. Every last scrap. Honestly, I've met sharks with better table manners. A butterfly landed briefly upon the wolf's nose. The butterfly then appeared to reconsider its life choices and immediately flew away. Sensible creature. I stood there for a moment. The professor was currently in mortal danger. Foxglove was somewhere nearby. Time mattered, and the wolf snored. I pinched the bridge of my nose. Wil? Nothing. Fen? Nothing. More snoring. I sighed. Then I shouted, "Wake up!" The hillside shook. Birds exploded from trees. Several rabbits appeared to experience brief religious conversions. The wolf's eyes opened. One golden, one yellow, both entirely untrustworthy.
"Oh,"
said Wil in the wolf's head. Luckily, I can read minds. Wolves can't talk. If I have to explain why, then you need a better education. But they can have thoughts if they are a werewolf, that is, and I can hear thoughts. I would explain this, but in this case, let's just call it magic and bollocks for the pace of the story. The beast yawned. Somewhere in the distance, a sheep fell over.
"Hello, your satanliness."
"Hi, good afternoon,"
added Fen. I folded my arms. The professor needs help. The wolf considered this information, then lowered its head back onto the grass.
"Oh."
Silence. Then...
That's unfortunate, isn't it?
said Wil.
"Well, it is for him."
Laughed Fen, the wolf soul. They both giggled at this attempt at funny inside the giant wolf head that, interestingly, had an echo, making me realise that that head was pretty empty. Figured. And then the wolf just closed its eyes and the snoring resumed. I stared. Surely not. Surely. I kicked its side. It was like kicking a particularly furry armoured vehicle. One eye opened.
We're snoozing.
Simon is about to be murdered.
We're still snoozing.
No, you need to come with me.
No.
Just no. No discussion, no questions, no curiosity. Just no. The beast rolled onto its side. Its enormous stomach wobbled happily.
Today's been lovely.
We've had sunshine.
Fresh air.
A nice meal.
The stomach wobbled again.
We're having a nap.
This one's been a surprisingly pleasant hell. Thanks.
I stared at them, then at the sky, then back at them. The difficulty with Wil is that motivation works differently. Threats do not function, logic certainly doesn't function, and duty might actually make things worse. Then I remembered precisely who I was dealing with, and smiled. Immediately the wolf became suspicious, looking at me through the corner of one eye while keeping his head on the grass.
Why are you smiling like that?
Because, I said, if you come with me, there will be fighting. The head lifted. Murder? Both eyes opened fully. Torture? The wolf was already standing. And thousands of demons, monsters, and deeply unpleasant people to inflict all of the above upon. Silence. The breeze moved through the grass. The giant wolf stared at me, then at the sky, then back at me. Its expression became genuinely offended.
Why didn't you bloody start with that right at the start?
Fen's tail immediately began wagging, which, for clarity, is a genuinely alarming thing when attached to 600 kilograms of ancient wolf apocalypse. Oh, and it should not have happened. Wolves don't wag their tails. Domesticated dogs do. Something to explore with the wolf later. That he may have become domesticated. Anyway, he wagged his tail. Trees bent, flowers vanished, local geography became negotiable.
Yeah, he's right. If you'd have said that at the start, we could have been there already.
The beast shook itself. Half the hillside suffered collateral damage.
Come on, then.
Far too many teeth appeared in that grin.
Let's go kill things.
Obviously what Fen means is that we should go and help the professor. Yeah.
No, that's what I was saying.
Leave it, Fen. Leave it.
Some professionalism. I smiled, clicked my fingers, and the hillside vanished. The sky vanished, the cottage vanished, and together we disappeared. Somewhere on a battlefield, Fairy Foxglove was about to discover that her day had just become considerably worse. We just had one more stop.
Wing Commander. The bloody airfield was ahead of us, small, ordinary, offensively normal considering what we'd just done. The Red Baron, well, sadly he was gone, shot down, finished. Sad, very, very sad, sir. Neither of us spoke like victors in the plane. Look sat behind me quiet in a way that made me uncomfortable. Look is never quiet, that is not what she is for. She's for impossible outcomes, for last-minute miracles, for things going wrong in just the right direction. But now she just stared out, watching the world pass beneath us, as if it owed her, well, whatever you could owe the physical manifestation of love. We were both silent. The engine hiccuped and coughed every now and again, but tried to keep its gentle hum constant. The aircraft was damaged. Oh yes, lots of holes. Bits of canvas flapping. She was, well, badly hurt, badly. The fact that we had no undercarriage pointed squarely at that, you see. That detail had become relevant earlier in ways I did not really care to remember. Amazing that the old girl had not fallen out of the sky, to be honest. The runway stretched ahead of us. What? Flat. Too honest, what? And then I saw them, a figure and a bloody huge black dog of some kind, standing dead center on the airfield, still, waiting. The figure was waving at us. She was waving us in. The dog did not, for obvious reasons, because, well, it was a dog. The now very recognizable she waved us in, not urgently, not cautiously, just patiently, like she had all the time in every possible version of reality.
Oh, it's Lucifer. What?
Said Luck. What's what? I asked her.
It's Lucifer. And, the werewolf?
Of course it was Lucifer and Will. I tightened my grip on the controls. Luck leaned forward just slightly.
Oh.
She said quietly. That was all. Just, oh. As we came into land too fast, very much too fast, without wheels and without dignity, the aircraft kissed the ground and immediately began to disagree with the laws of physics. We bounced, once, hard, canvas wooden wires going boing, not snap or crunch, thankfully, against the compacted turf. A second impact. Then we were sliding, skimming, slewing, I suppose you could call it. The fuselage was throwing parts of itself and shredded grass behind us like it was trying to erase our own arrival. We were not going straight. We were never straight at any point during this landing, which I can now formally rename as a crash. We were, slewing sideways across the airfield directly towards Lucifer. The wolf, well, he decided that he didn't want to play fetch with us, so it escaped and was now nowhere to be found. Don't blame them. What? Look, I said through clenched teeth, we're going to hit her.
Yes,
She replied. That is correct. She's the bloody devil, old girl. Hitting her may be misconstrued as some sort of insult. There was a pause.
true.
Then she lifted the machine gun and fired. At Satan. What the The last word disappeared into the wind. She'd fired a short burst at Satan. Casually. At Satan. Most curious. The bullets had cut across the air toward Lucifer like they were checking whether or not the consequences still applied. I glanced at her. Why on earth would you do that? I asked.
Just to see if I could.
She said, disappointed. The plane jolted again. We were closer now. Lucifer still hadn't moved, not even slightly. What would you have done, I asked, if you had actually shot her? Luck considered this properly and said in a tone that suggested she'd already accepted the administrative burden.
I would apologise.
Oh, was all I had time for in response as we were almost about to crush. That is Satan! We were close enough now that the impact was no longer a theory, it was just an appointment. Get out of the bloody way, I shouted, gesticulating to convey this statement with the appropriate emphasis. Luck joined in as though this was suddenly a group activity.
Move!
Lucifer, she didn't move. Of course she bloody didn't. Instead she raised one hand very gently, as if correcting something minor, and the aircraft stopped. Not crashed, not collided, just, stopped. Momentum simply ceased to be. No whiplash or the sense of a sudden, stop. The plane shuddered once violently and then settled into stillness, then seemed to wilt like a seedling in full sun. Then the engine died with a satisfied sigh of a job well done or maybe, survived. Look, giggled to herself. I didn't ask why. Our perilous slide had finished just a few feet from Lucy. I stared. Look stared. The engine ticked as it cooled, offended. Did she just really do that? I asked.
What?
She said. I harumphed at this little demonstration of sarcasm.
Sorry.
Apologized Luck.
Yes, she did.
Luck said calmly.
She's a devil. She can do a lot of things. Apart from playing drafts. Spent aeons trying to teach her, but she just does not get the concept of diagonal kinging.
I almost said, huh? As a question, but I didn't, so as I knew it would spark a conversation that should be held in the later future. I don't know. Lucifer smiled. It was not a comforting smile, it was a patient one. The kind you give to things that are about to understand something important, whether they want to or not.
I was going to ask,
She began, leaning slightly towards us.
if you two would come and help us rescue...
She paused, mid-sentence. Her eyes shifted slightly as she had recalculated the entire universe and found a more efficient route.
Never mind.
Then she clicked her fingers. And then everything went, oh, bloody somewhere bloody else. What?
Brought to you in association with Grendel Press. This is Werewolf the Podcast, a serial killer drama.